South Africa, a country blessed with beauty and natural abundance, is home to a vibrant population of more than 50 million who display a healthy enthusiasm for representation at government level, as well as opportunity, justice, and peace for all. The dawn of democracy in South Africa gave rise to the establishment of legislative institutions in all 9 provinces of the Republic of South Africa. The KwaZulu Natal Legislature fulfills its mandate in the province of KwaZulu Natal, home to over 10 million citizens. It is located on the eastern seaboard of South Africa and shares its borders with 3 other provinces as well as the countries of Mozambique, Swaziland and Lesotho. The bustling city of Pietermaritzburg, situated in Umsunduzi municipality in the district of Umgungundlovu and known as the City of Choice, is the capital of KwaZulu Natal and the seat of the provincial legislature. In the heart of the city on Langalibalele Street lie the 2 substantial structures built in 1887 that house the provincial legislature. The provincial legislature is responsible for safeguarding every citizen's freedoms and human rights, and they achieve this by passing laws that are decided upon in consultation with the people. This has ensured a malleable, transparent and robust democracy that protects all residents, drives social transformation and ensures equal opportunity for all. Members of the provincial legislature are elected every 5 years according to a system of proportional representation so that the party with the majority of votes will have the majority of members in the legislature. Proportional representation promotes multi-party democracy, which ensures that majority and minority parties are represented in the legislature. Members come from all parts of the province, from rural, peri-urban and urban areas of KwaZulu Natal. This diverse mix of members strengthens our maturing democracy as it protects all citizens against monocratic rule and provides for alternative viewpoints.
And you solemnly promise to perform your functions as a member of the Legislature of KwaZulu Natal.
At the swearing-in ceremony, all members pledge to be faithful to the country, obey, respect and uphold the Constitution and to perform their functions as members of the KwaZulu Natal Legislature to the best of their ability.
I do, so help me God.
The Constitution, formulated in 1996, is essentially a set of agreed-upon principles which obliges lawmakers to service their constituencies via public structures, avenues for public involvement, and functionality that at all times remains accountable to the people. The provincial legislature is an autonomous institution, empowered to fulfill its mandate according to its needs and is distinct from the executive and judicial arms of government. The core mandate for provincial legislatures is to make laws for the province, exercise oversight over the activities of the provincial executive authority, and to facilitate public involvement in the legislature and its committees. The KwaZulu Natal Legislature's first order of business is making laws. They do this by considering any bill placed before them, regardless of whether it was initiated from within their committee, the Executive Council, or a member of the public. Once a bill has been carefully considered by the legislature or by a portfolio committee, and they have taken the public interest into account, ensure that it is relevant, clear, practical and constitutional, it goes to the vote. If the majority of the legislature votes in favor of the bill, it is passed and becomes an act. It is sometimes necessary to amend acts or even repeal acts that are no longer relevant, and these are also voted upon before changes can be made. Once an act has been passed by the legislature, signed by the Premier and published in the Gazette, it becomes enforceable law. Ultimately, the KwaZulu Natal Legislature exists to serve the people of KwaZulu Natal and makes laws that strive to ensure peace, prosperity and development for all its citizens. Besides making laws, the KwaZulu Natal Legislature is also mandated by the Constitution of the Republic to exercise oversight over those who implement the laws. The 10 members of the Executive Council, or MECs as they are known, are tasked with implementing the laws and are led by the Premier. The Premier appoints this council from among members of the legislature. The MECs are collectively and individually accountable to the legislature for the running of the provincial government, including the implementation of laws that have been passed. The Executive Council administers government departments such as the Department of Sport and Recreation, the Department of Arts and Culture, or the Department of Cooperative Governments and Traditional Affairs, and must provide the legislature with regular and comprehensive reports on the matters they are responsible for. Maintaining oversight means that the legislature has to check that the Executive Council is using its authority responsibly and in the best interest of the citizens of KwaZulu Natal to deliver public services. There are a number of ways in which the KwaZulu Natal Legislature exercises oversight over the executive, like debating bills, budgets, and the MEC's reports, either in portfolio committee meetings or in plenary sessions of the legislature. Members of the legislature have the power to summon any person to appear before it to give evidence on oath or affirmation or to produce documents. The MECs know that they must be prepared to answer challenging questions on how they are delivering a better life to the people of KwaZulu Natal when appearing before the legislature. The recent introduction of a sector oversight model has enhanced the role of members in their oversight tasks and has made for vigorous service delivery interrogation through a structured and rigorous process. To perform their lawmaking and oversight functions efficiently, members of the provincial legislature have formed different committees within the legislature to deal with issues related directly to government departments. Each committee is made up of around 10 members of the legislature, with every political party allowed representation on the committees. Committees are where the groundwork of the legislature takes place. For instance, the debating of bills, scrutinizing departmental budgets, and assessing service delivery performance. The legislature also oversees the provincial administration. They have to appraise departmental officials as the smooth running of the province in all matters, ranging from roads to libraries to ambulance services, is largely dependent on how well these officials are performing. Embarking on community visits, either as multi-party delegations or portfolio committees, enables members to assess community needs and to address concerns at a grassroots level. As a way of distributing accountability, each member of the legislature is allocated a constituency by their own party to work with and service. They meet with their constituents during scheduled times of the year in order to hear their concerns, especially on service delivery, and to bring the concerns of the citizens back to the legislature for consideration by portfolio committees. The National Council of Provinces, or NCOP, is the second house of Parliament. It was created by the Constitution to build a stronger link between Parliament and the provinces to ensure the consideration of provincial interest in the law-making process. It comprises 90 delegates, 10 from each province, irrespective of the size of the province. Of the 10, there are 6 permanent delegates and 4 special delegates. A constitutional formula determines which parties may appoint permanent and special delegates. The constitutional requirement for legislatures to actively facilitate public involvement is derived from Section 118 of the Constitution, which places an obligation on provinces to facilitate public involvement in the processes of the legislature and its committees. This is to ensure that the views of ordinary people are heard by their public representatives and can be tabled if necessary. The Public Participation and Petitions Unit, established in 2006, is especially concerned with providing under-resourced communities with the information and skills they need in order to participate. This unit set a new global standard for legislatures at the time. Marginalized sectors of society like stokvels, religious groups and community-based organizations benefit from workshops initiated by the committees. These workshops also serve as an important channel for feedback from members of the public on issues such as basic services, health, education, and housing. Public participation is about empowering citizens by arming them with information that enables them to take an active part in shaping their own future or that of their communities. One occasion that is well attended by the public is the annual opening of the legislature. A day marked by fanfare and protocol. It is a day when the KwaZulu Natal's monarch addresses lawmakers as the king of the Zulu people. It is closely followed by the State of the Province Address, which provides an opportunity for the Premier to recount to the legislature's constituency the previous year's accomplishments and to renew pledges. Public participation can take on various forms. At the broadest level, the legislature initiated the Take Legislature to the People program, which is a platform for ordinary people to interact with their public representatives and raise service delivery issues, as well as view the legislature at work. In addition, sector parliaments provide additional opportunities for engaging with specific sectors and are realized in the annual Interfaith Symposium, Workers' Parliament, Youth Parliament, Women's Parliament, Senior Citizens Parliament, and the Parliament for People with Disabilities. More specifically, the committees hold regular meetings with civil society organizations and host public hearings on every bill under consideration to obtain their views. Notices for public hearings are published in the press. Often, individuals approach the legislature seeking clarity on policy and service delivery. They are encouraged to put the issue in writing. This submission is then forwarded to the appropriate committee where it will be considered. They may also submit petitions to the legislature individually or as a group of concerned citizens. House and committee sittings are always open to members of the public and the media. Information on the functions, programs, processes, and avenues for participation are also disseminated through media, radio, and to groups who take tours of the legislature. By involving its citizens in the lawmaking process of the province, the KwaZulu Natal Legislature is building a governance model that can truly call itself by the people, for the people. Every day, through the continuous and tireless implementation of these ideals, the KwaZulu Natal Legislature provides effective and accountable government for all. Government that builds a country that justly belongs to all who live in it. It is fitting that the environment for lawmaking and public involvement intended by the founding fathers of this democracy has been pioneered, tested, and entrenched since 1994 by this KwaZulu Natal Legislature, in keeping with the spirit of their vision as enshrined in our Constitution. It is no surprise then that South Africans are proud of this democracy and guard it jealously.